Good morning and welcome back. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to take a moment and reflect upon the lives of those we've lost together and those that you may have lost throughout the past year. They include, but are not limited to, Liz Russell, Anthony Prisco, and Alvaro Escobar. Thank you. It has been quite the journey to reach this day. Some of you may be anxious, some of you may be nervous, some of you may still have questions. Some of you may be happy to begin to return to a new normal. Whatever you are feeling, know this. There are a number of colleagues who have been here and have worked tirelessly to assure everyone's safety. If you are not satisfied with something, we understand. But before you decide to be upset, take a moment and realize that a colleague, another human being, did not have ill will in their heart. They were diligent, they were steadfast, and they deserve a thank you. I want to begin by recognizing the Board of Education, who has worked tirelessly to support our schools as we move into not just a new school year, but a new normal. Next, our custodians, our maintainers, and grounds crew. In addition to the bond work and regular maintenance, they were tasked with numerous COVID-19 responsibles. They include, but certainly not limited to, measuring classrooms, rearranging and storing desks and tables, hanging signs and hand sanitizer pumps, helping with Chromebook distribution, as well as food service on a daily basis. New offices have been created, and we even have some new RAMs outside of our high school. These colleagues truly embody the meaning and values of RAM Pride and RAM Fam. You could feel that pride throughout our district. Thank you also to Bill Loberg and Frankie Liotto. They spent the summer updating our technology and preparing Chromebooks for distribution, as well as completing any number of tasks which required their assistance. Thank you to our clerical staff for their dedication and efforts throughout the summer, assisting with ordering, hiring, helping with preparations for the new normal, and anything and everything else which needed to be done for our return. Thank you to Gina Gandolfo for rerouting, and even redesigning buses for the opening of school. Dealing with 3 different schedules for students, whether it be the hybrid concurrent model, the full distance learning model, or the 5-day in option. This is a more difficult task than one could even imagine. I can't thank the administrative team enough for their work this summer. I created a new hashtag for them I called Relentless Assault. The amount of work which came at them was quite intense. They have been working assiduously and fervently to ensure a smooth opening. No task was too big or too small. There are several changes and additions to our administrative team. Mr. Joseph Pumo is now assistant principal for grades 7 through 9. New to the RAM Fam include Ms. Susan Burnett, assistant director at PPS. And beginning September 14th, Dr. Nichelle Rivers, Director of Fine, Performing, and Culinary Arts, as well as Dr. Katie DiGregorio, Director of E&L and Instructional Technology. They are here with us today. At District Office, I would like to welcome Mr. James Igo, District Treasurer, and Mr. Miguel Alvarez, who is now the District Messenger. New staff in our classrooms include, let's begin at the high school, Ms. Marissa O'Brien, school psychologist and CPSE chair, Donna Southard, business teacher, Alexa Tanney, English teacher, Michael Tavishian, earth science teacher, Michelle DeLace, teaching assistant. At the middle school, Valerie Cerrone, special education teacher, Allison Kiernan, reading teacher, Mary Elizabeth Magnus, special education teacher, Judith Diaz Rivera, Spanish teacher. At George Washington, Venetia Hayward, classroom teacher, Allison Brolt, music teacher. Kaylin Zanella went from classroom teacher to AIS math, and Megan Connor, who was here with us last year on a leave, has now found a permanent home with us in Ram Country. Casey Numeroff is a leave replacement who will be filling in for Maria Giberson. Maria Chrysoides went from a one-to-one monitor to a teaching assistant. Splitting time between George Washington and Cornwall Avenue, Monique Roberge, physical education teacher. At Cornwall Avenue, Miss Tony Ann Kushner has returned, as she will be filling in for Miss Anne Marie Scully. We have some happy news from around the district. Let's begin at the high school. Dr. Kazakis and Madeline Valencia became parents to baby girls. Nick DiBenedetto got engaged. Stephanie Withoff got married, is now Stephanie Borelli. Dr. Towers got married, is now Diana Shemansky. At the middle school, Mr. Dean Borizaris got married. Miss Nancy Sullivan welcomed a new grandson. Pat Anderson's daughter, Elizabeth, graduated from medical school. Congratulations to everyone. At George Washington, Jackie Kozubsky is now Jackie Shealy. Congratulations. And Mr. Jose Pena at Chestnut Street became a grandfather to Emily Alessandra. Since we were unable to have a tenure tea, I would like to again congratulate the following teachers who earned tenure this past year. Priscilla Nicholas, Kelly Byrne, Caitlin Coughlin, Michelle Pietzak, Harry Loizides, Gina Barr, and Christine Ragucci. In addition, the following administrators were granted tenure. Joe Kingemi, Faith Tripp, Deanna Sanita. The following employees have been with the district for 20 years and will be receiving their 20-year pins. Laura Reitz, Danielle Napolitano, Stacy Boschnack, Chris Lavaz, and Karen Perry. Last, I want to recognize 5 people who never missed a day since we closed schools down on March 16th. They were here. They may have been nervous. They may have even been scared, but they never said a word. I gave them the option, like others, to stay home and work. The answer I received back was, if you are here, I am here. They include Miss Teresa Bryant, Miss Dina Riley, Mr. Vince Fleck, Mr. Bill Dworsak, and Mr. Joel Press. Thank you.
Hi everyone, welcome to the new school year. I'm Sandro Pedisano, president of the West Hempstead Aids and Monitors Association, and we are looking forward to seeing familiar faces, and to the new ones we say, welcome to our Ram fam. We would like to thank Karen Brome and all the board members for ensuring everybody's well-being as we return to school in person. We would also like to say thank you to Dan, Dina, Joel, and all at Central Administration for ensuring a safety-first plan as we navigate these uncharted waters. Thank you for your true leadership. Thank you to PPS for letting us continue to do our jobs. And thank you to clerical and custodial for continuing to do your jobs 24/7 above and beyond. We are ready to be back at work, looking forward to continued teamwork, because we are Ram fam, because we are Ram pride, because we are Ram resolve. Welcome back, thank you, and good luck in the new school year. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome back to a brand new school year and a brand new reality. We welcome our new staff who have joined us, and we say farewell to our teachers who have retired and moved on to new chapters in their lives. We enter a new uncertainty in this time of COVID. Nevertheless, we will continue to show our true professionalism and strive to ensure a safe educational environment, not only for ourselves, but for our students. I look forward to continue to work with Mr. Riemann and the administrators, as well as Mrs. Brome and the rest of the school board. I hope our continued cooperation will ensure an amazing school year for you and all of our students. I'm excited to start my second year working for WIA, my brothers, my sisters, who stand together as one union. I've reflected on the past year and the challenges it has brought to all of us. I know there have been many mistakes that have been made. I learned from them, and I have learned from you. I strive to do better. I look out to our members and I see people who inspire me to be better, not only for me, but for all of us. It has been a difficult year to say the least, but it's been an honor to serve. I have seen the best of people in the worst of times. I have seen great teachers who inspire their students in these dark times. You were a beacon of light for your students during this crisis. You were their sanity. You were their consistency in the sea of uncertainty. I do want to quote William Ward when I say, "A mediocre teacher tells, a good teacher explains, a superior teacher demonstrates, and a great teacher inspires." I can tell you that you have been great and you have inspired not only me, but you've inspired your students. It is said it only takes a flicker to ignite the fire of imagination. A classroom teacher brings ideas to life not only by showing, but by encouraging imagination. We all know that there is no telling what a child's mind can imagination. Thank everyone for inspiring and for letting our children imagine. Our union is only as strong as its members. I think we should look into ourselves and see how we can show our strength, how we can show who we are when we stand as united front. To quote John F. Kennedy, but with a little twist, ask not what your union can do for you, but ask what you can do for your union. What can we do to strengthen our resolve, to be united, especially during this trying times? A union divided cannot stand. We must endure those who choose to stand against us. We must unite and bring everyone into the fold. We put the past behind us. We look to the future with a united, strong, new, optimistic voice. We will move forward united, working with each other, working with administrators, working with the school board, and working with the community to make sure we ensure that the students of West Hempstead are given the best possible education. We will stand united as one to work towards a safe work environment, to better our working conditions, to work towards getting the best future contracts that we know we deserve. We are WIA, we are union, we are one, we are strong, we are WIA strong. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a wonderful and safe, healthy new year.
Welcome back, West Hempstead. I remember a few years ago when I gave my first welcome back speech, I talked about how opening days are always filled with a mix of emotions. And today is no different, except for maybe the mixture of emotions, some of them being a bit overwhelming. We've all been through a lot over these past 6 months, and in that time I've learned 2 things that I'd like to share with you. 2 things that I hope will serve you well as we navigate the school year. The first thing I learned is it's okay not to be motivated each day to want to get things done. We are living in a time where frustration, stress, uncertainties will inevitably deflate your motivation. So don't try to find it every morning. Vince Lombardi said, "People fail not because of a lack of motivation, they fail because of a lack of commitment." So rely on your commitment. And before we leave here today and start with our students on September 3rd, I ask that we each find and remember the commitment we made when we became educators. Remember the commitment we make to the 1,900 students in our care, and remember the commitment we make to ourselves to be our best despite everything. Motivation starts the journey, but commitment sees it through. The second thing I learned is that the danger of the world still exists. Wolves still roam, but they don't get to determine the contours of our heart or the content of our minds. Let's not waste a crisis. Let us use this time to be defiantly hopeful, to unite in our compassion, and to be better than we were yesterday. In memory of Al Escobar, I would like to leave you with these words that he once wrote me. The most important qualities we can teach our children are humility, grit, patience, teamwork, and perseverance. And the best way to teach these are not through words, but through our actions. Let's model these behaviors every day. Always be the best version of yourself, and remember to always leave your mark on the hearts of others. On behalf of all the administrators, we are excited to be back. This is going to be a year, and just maybe, it'll be the best one yet. Thank you.
Speaking on behalf of Mr. Jimmy Sumakis, Ms. Anna Maria Fortanesi, and the entire UPSEU staff, we want to welcome you back to the 2020-2021 school year. Speaking as Dan Riemann, Superintendent, I cannot say enough wonderful things about these staff members. They work tirelessly. Their craftsmanship is impeccable. Their dedication to our students and us is unprecedented. I want to thank them all for the work they've done in order to prepare us for this upcoming school year.
Good morning and welcome back. To those of you who are new to the district, welcome. We're excited to have you here as part of our RAM family. This is an exciting time to be joining us as we begin our new journey into hybrid concurrent learning. You will soon realize what those of us here already know, that you are now working alongside some of the finest, most dedicated educators around. This year, I begin my 9th year as board president, but my 50th year in West Hempstead. I know that this will be a year like we've never seen before. I'm confident that we will far surpass the expectations that we put on ourselves, and we will take this challenge and run with it as we have every challenge before this. It's been a long summer of waiting and planning for this day, the day that we could safely welcome everyone back. I'm sure there are many that are anxious. Have we done all we could? Could we have done something differently? You aren't alone. We are talking every day to make sure that we have. Nothing was decided lightly or without discussing every possibility. In my other job, we've been working every day since the beginning of all this unknown. I spent the first few weeks, probably months, calming people's fears and answering questions. I anticipate that the next few weeks, possibly months, are not going to be any different here. All the administrators and the board are around and are here to support you and answer any questions you may have. Remember, no one is alone in their concern, and we are all together taking this one day at a time. As a parent, I couldn't be more comfortable with the steps we've taken to ensure that our buildings are safe and that students are getting a wonderful West Hempstead education. I thank you all for what you do daily, not only to educate our students, but to make sure they are well emotionally. I am extremely proud of our district, and I am honored to be able to serve as president again this year. It truly is my pleasure. Let me leave you with this. Be mindful of the confusion, the chaos, the challenges, and the changes. Please do not try to do it all. Take care of yourself. If you aren't okay, you aren't able to help anyone else.
Our theme for this school year is going to revolve around the hashtag RAMResolve. A head nod to the class of 2020 and all of you have faced numerous obstacles in completing the 2019-2020 school year. People may assume that it's just about being physically steadfast. It is in part, but it's also about having anything you want if you're willing to work for it. If you're willing to take care of yourself physically, as well as read, write, and think critically daily. It's about creating physical and mental sweat, producing it and capitalizing on it. It's about the willingness to engage in thoughtful debate and making a stand for the principles in which you believe. It's about bringing your best forward each day to the hallways and classrooms in our 5 buildings, or virtually if need be. It's not about where you start, but where you end. More importantly, it's about the journey and your willingness not to avoid the obstacles, but realize the obstacle is the way. It's about no limits and no excuses. Let's look at these ideas a little more closely. Willingness to work. This comes from a conversation from a colleague of ours who shared this with me. Somebody once asked me why I always give 100%, and I replied, I didn't know I could give anything less. What you do makes a difference. Keep grinding. Taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and socially as well. I found this on the Castle website as a tip of the day. Manage stress by reframing the situation. Replace a negative thought with a positive reframing. For example, negative thought. I am worried there's no way to protect myself. A positive reframing might be, I'm practicing social distancing, wearing a mask, and taking precautions. Read, write, and think critically daily. It's never been easier to get information than it is today. You have access to Wikipedia, podcasts, social media, and a near infinite library of books. You can chat with just about anyone about anything. We live in a wonderful time where facts and opinions are abundant like truly never before in history. But there is danger in all its abundance as well. Because with this access has come instant connection and viral sharing, which means that for all the diverse sources of information out there, it's also never been easier to see what other people are thinking. We have to think for ourselves and teach our students to do the same. We should not care what the mob thinks. We do not need to consort with the crowd, as Seneca put it. Yes, it's wonderful that we have access to all kinds of knowledge and tools, but how we use these assets is essential. We're just going to agree with everyone because we don't want to make trouble? Or jump on the bandwagon because we are afraid? Are we going to seek out only what we like and what confirms our worldview? This recording is not the time, but I am not ignoring the need to have discussions about the current state of America. We need to ensure all of our students are represented in our buildings and in our curriculum. Suffice it to say, we need to empower our students to read, write, think, and speak critically daily. If you want to better understand the district's position, please visit the superintendent's page and read the community letter from June 5th. Creating physical and mental sweat. Just as we've done in the past, we have given thought to the myriad of ways to engage our students. How are we going to engage our students this year? How are we going to sweat to produce the conditions for optimal learning? How are they going to sweat? Bringing your best forward each day. Life is full of choices. We are choosing to place our best foot forward daily. Realize the obstacle is the way. When we can take the long view of our problems, we can sometimes see that we're using inappropriate tools to try and solve them. What is necessary for us to do is to move away, to detach. That may show us a whole new context into which our problem fits, and it may not even be a problem. Detachment is hard to achieve when we are deeply hooked into a situation. When we send ourselves drastic messages, we are pressing our noses right up against the problem. Position in which it is difficult to maintain a balanced view. To stop and say, if not now, then perhaps some other time, unhooks us and lets us remember life is richer and more varied than we thought when we were hooked. Crisis thinking can be like a hammer. It flattens everything. This can be our way of trying to control the outcome of our struggles. But when we remember that we make up only small parts of one grand and beautiful design, we can surrender our problems to it. No limits and no excuses. We are returning to school. School like we have not seen. Not like the beginning of last year, not like the end of last year. We are beginning anew with the full expectation that we will achieve at the highest levels. Thank you. Have a great opening and learn them up.